Hey folks, I just wanted to give you a quick look at my garden here. This is the third year that I've been growing. The first year I really just grew a few pepper plants in pots, and last year I put in these two raised beds over here, and this past year, or actually the end of last fall, I started building this third bed here, just collecting tree logs that people put out on the sidewalk after they cut down trees. So I got all that for free. And I've learned a little something each year. The first year I just wanted to grow one or two plants, and then last year I really grew just summer plants. I grew tomatoes and pepper plants. And this year I wanted to do more with the cool weather plants. I wanted to grow a few cool weather plants like kale and broccoli, and also leafy greens, just lettuces and other types of leafy greens. I got arugula. So I'm just gonna go through and show you the different plants I have here. So this right now I have set up as my herb garden, and I do have a few other plants with extra space, but here I have mint in a pot because that does spread, so you don't want to put that in a bed where it can kind of take over. And then I got rosemary here, cilantro, which is going to seed. So this is another plant that does better in the cool weather, and this is going to seed. I think I started the seeds for this plant about the end of February, and right now it's mid-June in New Jersey. So I got my basil here, same thing. The basil going to seed. This didn't happen for me last year until about August or September, so I'm a little disappointed with this. I might have to get a few new plants and just buy them and plant them for the rest of the summer. And then here I got my squash plant. So I had a few extra spaces on this bed, so I got two squash plants here that have grown out a lot. And I got a broccoli plant right here. This I think is going to be pulled very soon. Let me see if you can get a look at one of the broccoli crowns. And on the other side here I have parsley. Parsley is probably the herb that's been growing the best. I mean, this is going crazy, and I've been harvesting that for stocks and just using it in other meals. And I have thyme here, and a purple basil plant which I got from Lowe's. So if you go over here, you see some of the trimmings that I've cut off the last few days. I got a cherry tomato plant here in a big pot, and I have a few cuttings from this plant that I'm starting in a new pot. It's the first time I've ever tried that, and it seems to be working. These plants were pretty droopy for about a week or two, but once you water them and the roots start to grow, they'll become stronger. And I'm probably going to plant one of these out. I may actually buy a few more pots to do these because I don't think I'm going to have space in my garden dome. So let's go over to the beds. And here I got my two tomato plants. This is a San Marzano. And last year the big mistake I made was not staking the plant, so I went overkill with the stake this time and got 8-foot stakes. And on right here I got a red bell sweet pepper plant, another cherry tomato plant. Right on the back right here, this is my big beef tomato. And then this 4x4 is my lettuce bed, my greens bed. So you can see the red romaines going to seed. The lettuce mix is doing really well. The kale is also doing well. And the spinach down here is going to seed. And I have some chard back here. So some of these are going to be pulling out. In fact, the arugula, you can kind of see I cut off. This started to flower and was getting huge, so I cut them off. Probably going to pull these pretty soon. But other than that, I mean, the lettuce is doing amazing. The other big problem I did last year was just plant a few seeds of lettuce in pots indoors and got them started, but it wasn't enough. So this time I pretty much emptied almost an entire seed packet in a row and didn't really thin it at all. And as you can see, it's growing like crazy. So I have a ton of lettuce here. And then this is the summer bed. I have a bunch of bean plants, kind of the same thing with the lettuce. I planted a bunch in a row and I thinned them to about 4 to 5 inches, but they're starting to grow like crazy. And then I got my cucumber plants down here. I've never grown cucumber, so I'm interested to see how that goes. I got a squash plant in this pot, and this is the first squash that I'm getting here. And then a few more pepper plants on this side. These are my spicy pepper plants. So I got, I have a habanero, a jalapeno, poblano, and then a few other varieties that I bought from Lowe's or a local nursery. And in the back row here is more broccoli plants. I bought these from a nursery, and I've gotten a few harvests out of them, not as much as I was expecting, but I think I'll do better in the fall for these. But I think that these broccoli plants are probably going to be done within the next couple of weeks. Probably end up pulling them because you can see this looks like a good floret, but some of these are starting to flower. I'll show you one over here that kind of looks like it's flowering. There we go. So you can see the buds are not that tight on this one, and that's kind of happening with all of these if I let them grow too much. So that's really it. This is my you know, the area I come out and kind of do my business. It's good exercise. My entire yard was grass last year, so this has been a ton of hard labor. That's been great to pair with, you know, doing the keto diet. And yeah, I mean, this has been a very successful year so far, and it's only mid-June. I mean, my tomato plants are probably 4 or 5 times the size they were compared to last year at this time. So really looking forward to getting them, having some tomatoes come in and ripening. But that's it. So I'm probably end up doing a few more videos, giving you updates throughout the summer. But just a little sneak peek into the area that, you know, I feel like I spend hours here every day. So I highly encourage you to just grow some of your own food, especially grains or herbs. They're usually pretty easy. And if you have the space, by all means, put in some raised beds and do what I'm doing. So if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear from you if you're actually growing some food yourself. Because, you know, the thing with gardening is you got to exercise patience. You got to learn things slowly, 1 year at a time. And any advice that I can get from you guys will be helpful. So thanks again.